I don't know if you've ever seen the original Star Wars movie, but if you have, you'll probably remember the scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi takes Luke Skywalker into the Galactic Bar. And then this Galactic Bar is full of weird and wonderful creatures doing all kinds of things. And it signifies Luke's entry into a strange new world. And for many people, that's how they feel when they start online dating. There's this whole jargon of Netflix and chill and breadcrumbing and ghosting and gaslighting. And they've probably heard stories and horror stories. And so it can be daunting. Like, you find yourself single after many years and dating, and you find dating has completely changed. And so people put off dating for months. They're overwhelmed and they're like, I have to lose weight and I have to have these photos done. And they take forever to actually get round to sign up. Or maybe you've dipped your toe in and maybe you've sent some messages but you're not getting any replies, or maybe you're getting messages from all the wrong people, or maybe the messages are fizzling out and they're in conversations that are boring and they just doesn't lead to anything. So a lot of people give up on online dating and they say, oh, it just doesn't work. Technology's changed relationships, or I'm just gonna hope I meet someone. But for me, hope isn't a strategy. So yes, possibly you might meet someone in bars and clubs. Possibly you might meet someone through your network. You could join groups and find someone. But for me, that means that you've just shrunk your potential dating pool down. It means you're waiting for the luck of when you meet someone. Whereas online dating, everyone's there. You just have to access them. So I can remember, I was married 15 years. After my divorce, I decided, right, okay, I'm going to see if I can meet someone new, and I started online dating. And I just didn't have any success, and I thought it was me. I thought just women weren't interested in me. And then I just figured, okay, I'm going to work this out. And then I just gradually worked out, how do you build a connection with someone? And so about 3 years ago, I met my girlfriend, and we've been really happy since. But I'm confident if I needed to, I could go on a dating site and find a suitable partner at any time. And that's important because I talk to people in horrendous relationships, people who are being physically, emotionally abused, and they stay in a relationship and say, well, I don't want to be on my own. When you have dating skills, you know that you can always find a partner. And so what that means is that you don't settle for people treating you for second best. It means you don't have to wait months, years to meet the right person. And it means that you can choose the right person to get into a relationship with. Because if you just settle, then a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you're going to look at that person and realize they don't have the qualities, the characteristics, or the capability to give you the relationship you need to be happy. And so you're stuck. You either stay in a relationship you're not really thrilled about, or you go back and start all over again. And so for many people, they endure poor relationships because they don't see any alternative. And so this is really why I created Start Dating Right. And Start Dating Right is a process to take you through online dating. It's to send messages that start conversations, have conversations that lead to dates, and have dates that lead to relationships. So in my flagship program, the relationship mastery system, I teach everything from how to be your best self, how to find the right partner, and how to build the right relationship. Now, that's a much bigger process. Even finding the right partner is a much bigger process. So the Start Dating Right works on the 80-20 rule. And so the 80-20 rule is that 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. And so the 80-20 rule works everywhere. And so 20% of your carpet is walked on 80% of the time. 20%, you wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. And so in dating, messaging will get you 80% of your results. So it's the 20% of effort that will get you started. It will get you out dating, into relationships, where then you can work on the other stuff. So let's look first at why people feel so bad about dating. So whenever we're in a situation where we feel bad, there's two factors. There's the actual situation, and there's how we feel about the situation, like the story that we tell ourselves about the situation. Now, when we can't change the situation, then we have to change the narrative that you tell about the situation. So the narrative that most people have is that, technology doesn't work, online dating doesn't work, technology's changed relationships, online dating doesn't work, no one wants relationships anymore. So whenever we look at a narrative, we have to look at what's true, and I think we have to get back to objective facts and then build a narrative from that. So let's look, there's two facts. Never in the history of humanity have we ever had access to as many single people as we do now. It doesn't matter what age group you are, it doesn't matter what gender, what sexuality, what personality, whatever your quirks are, whatever your looks are, there's people out there that are looking for a partner like you. Now, the second fact is it really addresses, people say technology's changed relationships. Technology changes the rituals, it changes the customs, it changes the etiquette. But people don't change. People change from evolution. Evolution takes hundreds of thousands of years. The fact that it's last 10, 20 years, we have online dating hasn't changed people. And people are biologically driven to pair bond. We want sex, romance, deep attachment. Yes, some people are just looking for sex. Yes, some people aren't healed. Some people are rude. Some people are so bitter. Dating has all kinds of behavior, just like life. But you manage to navigate through life without getting involved in the dramas, without getting involved in all the unsavory stuff that we see about on the news. And in the same way, if you know how to date, you don't need to get into all that. So people haven't changed. Helen Fisher talks about the study from Match.com where 95% of people, deep down, 95% of people said that they wanted a long-term relationship. Most people want a long-term relationship. Some are jaded and they don't feel that it's going to work, and so they swear off relationships. But ultimately, all of us want to share our life with someone. And so when you take those two facts, we have access to so many people. People haven't changed in that sense that they still want to be in relationships. So the problem is how do we connect to them? That's what Start Dating Right does. You see, Start Dating Right works on the Enchantment dating strategy. So the Enchantment dating strategy is something I came up with after being inspired by Chloe Valdery's theory of enchantment. And the theory of enchantment is basically a toolkit for brands analysing why Nike and Beyonce create such affinity from their fans. And it's because they delight them, because they enchant them, because they treat them as people, because they don't talk down to them and they don't make them feel bad. And so the enchantment dating strategy is a way of delighting people, not by blowing smoke up their arse or telling them or sending some line. You see, the problem that a lot of people have is they'll use pickup tricks and they'll send this text and act like this way. And what happens is that can only get you so far. So people are like onions. And the superficial is what someone sees of you first off. But as you unpeel the layers, we connect deeper. So connection comes from disclosure. It comes from when I tell you about me and you tell me about you, and when we go beyond. Like if I tell you what I like to eat, that's quite a superficial layer. But if I tell you what my hopes, my fears, my dreams are, then you're going to feel something, because we humans, we respond and we connect to humanity. So people on a dating site, all they know of you is a two-dimensional thing. They know your picture, your username, your profile, and any messages that you send. They don't care about you. That's the first layer. They don't care until they know who you are. And so the enchantment dating strategy is, how do you build that connection? How do you have real conversations? How do you filter through people by working out what your commonalities are? So when you can send a message that connects to someone, that's how you build. You become three-dimensional. So I don't have great looks. I don't have a sparkling personality, but I know I can connect to people. Now, if you're someone like me and you're looking to hook up with 23-year-old supermodels, I can't help you with that. There may be some pickup artist somewhere, but I doubt it, because all you're going to do is you're going to create some facade. But if you're looking, what builds a real lasting relationship is someone of similar looks, similar intelligence, similar background, similar values. That's what we know makes a relationship work. Now, if that's what you want and you want to build connection, that's what the Start Dating Right will do, because it teaches you how to express yourself and how to send messages that start conversations. And once you have, that's like the fire starter. It means that, even if someone messages you and they message you a boring message, that typically will lead to a boring conversation. But if you know how to turn that round and make that into a more exciting conversation, then that's how you start a conversation that makes you stand out. And you stop being the two-dimensional person and become three-dimensional. Because most of the behavior that people complain about on online dating is because all people see of you is two-dimensional. If you can make it more dimensional and connect to the person, it stops being transactional and you bring humanity into dating. And that basically is the process that Start Dating Right teaches you. How to be yourself and find the right partner for you.